Boxing Ego here. If you like this video, make sure you hit the like button and also subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon on the top of your screen to get notified when the latest new content drops. What is it about you? What is it about Jessie Vargas? You had pro fights with Manny Pacquiao, Tim Bradley. You were down to and open to fight Kell Brook and also Keith Thurman. You're taking Broner kind of on a last-minute notice. What's it about you and your brand that you want to instill that you're willing to fight anyone? Because it seems like that's the case. You're down to fight whoever.
I've always been proud to be that type of fighter that says I'll fight anyone. I don't want any easy fights. You know, as soon as I became world champion and became WBO world champion, all right, let's do a unification fight. And as you said, and as you mentioned, Kell Brook was on the list. Unfortunately, you know, negotiations fell apart. It was around the time that the crisis went on in the UK. You know, the dollar amount wasn't the same out there. And I'm guessing that that's why everything, you know, changed. And unfortunately, we couldn't make the fight happen. But then we had the next big thing, Manny Pacquiao. You know, I mean, I'm not here to take any easy turns. I'm here to face the best. I'm here to give my fans entertaining fights. That's what it's about. I mean, I'm an entertainer, and I don't want to be known as a fighter that just looks for the easy route, you know, takes the easy opponents. No, I'm here. I'm looking at the top 5 guys in the division, and I'm going after them. That's just the way I see things.
And speaking of the easy route, was your team in talks to talk to Keith Thurman to actually make that fight? And what did you think about him kind of opting not to fight you even before it was announced that he was injured as a result, because you were probably too tough as a tune-up?
Yeah, well, I mean, it was very unfortunate because I was under the conclusion that he had accepted the fight verbally. Unfortunately, later he said that I was a tough fight and he didn't want to face any world champions, and he was advised not to take a fight against me. It's very unfortunate for the fans. The fans, you know, I know that we could have gave them a good fight. But then again, you know what? It's not unfortunate because he ended up pulling out of his fight recently because of an injury. And for that reason, I don't want to have nothing to do with that.
So you wouldn't have any
I'm happy, yeah. You know what? I have a fight against Adrian Broner. And in the beginning, I just thought to myself, hopefully I told my team, hopefully Adrian Broner is on his good behavior in this 7-week period. You know, I don't want him getting locked up or any type of distractions for him. We want to make sure that he's able to step into that ring, and you know, he's prepared. He's prepared for what I have to bring. It's going to be very difficult for him to prepare because he doesn't know what's coming. But I do know and accept that he's a talented fighter, so he's game, and I'm looking forward to taking him down. You know, that's just my plan.
Speaking of social media, a lot of people in the division you're in, the guy with the most belts is Keith Thurman, and a lot of people he's under fire right now. A lot of fans feel that he's holding the belt hostage. What's Jessie Vargas think?
Nah, the people aren't happy because they want to see the best and the biggest fights out there. And if you're not willing to make them, then that's a problem. That's a problem for the fans. You know, and once you don't have the respect of the fans, then it's gonna get tough for you. And he better start facing top-level opposition, top-level opponents, and stop calling out, you know, easy fights, because that's what he has done, you know, in order for him to continue to expand his name and continue to grow as a fighter. And not only that, but the most important thing right now, and for every athlete, is to have that recognition, the respect from the fans. And right now he's losing it, so he better do something to change that around. That's the reason that I always look into the biggest fights and best fights possible for the fans.
I just spoke with Errol Spence, and then he says that he believes Thurman may have lost some of his hunger. Have you seen anything? He said basically how he would talk a couple of years ago versus the injuries and car accidents and stuff now. He doesn't seem like the same drive.
You know what? I didn't know anything about the... Keep in mind that I don't stay on social media very often, so I don't know about the car accident. I do believe that at one point in time, he needed to be that person to talk smack and to call people out because he didn't have anything. I mean, what I mean by that is he didn't have titles. Once he grabbed the title, he's just like a little boy that he beat you at you know, at those Nintendo 64 games. You know, I beat you, I'm out, peace. You know what I mean? It's just like that. I mean, how is he gonna compare it? You know, he wants to hold those belts where he's not putting himself at risk. But guess what? We're in the sport, we're in the hurt business. You know what I mean? You gotta be able and be willing to face the best, and don't be scared of a tough fight, man. This is the business. You know, people want to see tough fights. People want to see fights that are gonna dig deep and bring something new out of you in those last 4 rounds. You know, and that's what we owe them because they're the ones that tune in to watch us on Showtime. You know, and because of them, we gain the popularity that we have. Of course, we fight for it too, but he's not fighting for it. That's the thing. You know, he stopped fighting for it as soon as he fought Danny Garcia, and he's, you know. But hey, we'll wait and see. I'm sure that the WBC and the WBA are gonna have to have other fighters fight for their belts, which works well for us until he's able to come back. Once he's able to come back, he's gonna have to face whoever wins or fights for the WBC and WBA titles. I see it fair for the WBA and WBC titles to do that. You know, leave him as a, what do they call it? I don't know, a champion on recess or whatever they call it, and then have some other fighters fight for it. You know what I mean? Because he's been on recess ever since he's been on break ever since he fought Danny. You know what I mean?
Came back to the rooms. It's the third period yet.
He doesn't even want to fight Sean because he saw exactly. I mean, Sean, to me, I personally thought Sean had won by round, and if anything, it was a 6-6. You know, but he doesn't want to go back to that either. So only time will tell. But I trust that the WBC and the WBA will do what is fair for everyone.